Hi everybody, welcome to Wagger's Top Tips. Now, some people have been moaning on about the wagtail. The pad, when you're actually closing out, will interfere with the actual blade. It gets squashed at the bottom of the sill, etc. Now, to overcome that, what I've done is a little modification. I'm a serial modifier, you all know that by now, of course. But what I reckon is this is a pretty good modification, and what you'll need if you're using this particular wagtail, it's the blue whirlwind one with the screw through the centre here and the aluminium blade. But of course, as you know, you can actually change these blades. You can put the stainless steel ones in as well. I've done that before, but I'm still using the original wagtail one here. Now what I've done is taken the original pad off and the little clips that actually go on the back here. Now what you'll need for this modification is this type of pad here. It's the orangey yellow one, and it might be worth you actually sending away for some of these. But if you're going to use these pads, don't expect the water retention to be very good. But then, because I use a bottle on a belt, then I use the bottle to wet the strip as and when I need it. So it's not a case of water retention, it's a case of water supply. So I carry that round. If you still want a bucket, yeah, fair enough, carry the bucket around with you, leave it at the front, but carry a bottle with you as well, so that you can wet the pad when you're around the back of the premises. Right, what you'll need for this mod, and it's pretty effective, there's some small ties, little tiny ones. Right, I'll show you what to do with them in a bit. Drill, piece of wire. This one is stainless steel. I don't know where you're going to get this from, but coat hanger wire might do the job. I've used it in this other blade here. It's a bit thicker, but it'll work. I'll show you that in a minute. This is stainless steel one. Right, get the orange pad, make sure it's the correct length for the actual blade you're going to use. It just goes over the edges of the tips a little bit. Don't go too far over, because it will get in the way. And that's going to go on here. Right, what you need to do, you can see that fairly closely. Get your drill, drill a hole each corner at each side of the blue disc. Right, then you get your ties. You get tiny ones, it's the best. Whether you can see that clearly. Get two ties, put them through the holes you drilled, just like that. Okay, don't know whether you can see that clearly. And they just hang fairly loose. You can always tighten them up later, so don't snip the ends off until you've got it right. Then what actually happens is you get your wire, and you can actually slip this through the loops like that. See what you've got now? You've got a wire at the back, and it's just shy, say, 1/4 of an inch each side, sort of a nice angle. Okay, next thing you need to do, get your pad, pair of scissors, put the pad up alongside the wire, put it right next to where you've got your little ties. Right, measure it off if you like with a pen or something, but cut a little slit measuring directly opposite each tie into your pad. Just cut that with the scissors, not too far, just a little tiny slot. Well, you can see that there. There you go. You can do it both sides if you want, so you can turn your pad around so it won't wear, even the wear out. Take your wire out of them two again. Now, you better watch this carefully. Turn the pad upside down. Get your wire, slide it into the little sleeve one side, and just let it poke out like that. You got that? Then put your wire through one of the little ties there. Hope this is clear. Right through, keep going along to the next tie until it pokes out just a little tiny bit, right, from the other tie. Grab hold of your pad. You can see what I'm going to do now, can't you? Push it into the sleeve edge on the other side of the pad. Right, there you go. Now what you've got now is like a hinge. See how that swings? That's really tremendous how that just tilts on its own, and that's not even wet. You see? And you can see how that is going to clear the sill when it goes down. It's totally brilliant. Not absolutely perfect, but it's a big advantage over the old pad. This is very, very light as well. That's the way I like it. You can see how that actually works. See, it's pretty good. Now if you find that your wire slides up and down too much, it shouldn't come out, but it tends to, when you're working, it'll stick out a bit like that, and you might have to keep pushing it back. So what you can do is just tighten your ties up until you get just the right tension, so you can just get the wire in and out. So if you like that idea, you can have a go at that. It works for me really well. I really like it, and I've done a few of the other tools like that. If you find your pads shrink and get too short, what you can do is just sew them up the middle like that, and that won't interfere when you slide your wire through. You can see that quite clearly there, I expect. So that's that job in that respect done. The wire might be a problem. This is a piece of stainless steel wire, but other wire might do as well. I've got the one I use on the end of the pole. That's a much thicker wire, and it's one of the other types, the yellow disc wagtails. But you can still do it. All you need to do, it's the same principle, but instead of drilling through the blue disc like that, you can just drill a couple of holes through the actual aluminium like that, and you can see the red ties on this one. Put them through like that. You can see how they come out this end here, and then you can slide your wire through. The same principle. There you go. It just slides in and out there. That's a much thicker wire, so it shows you it can be done, but this is galvanized because I don't like it going rusty. So that's the main problem with this principle. It's maybe the wire, you'll have to source that from somewhere. If it's too thin and bendy, it might not be any good. And of course if it's coat hanger wire, it might rust too much, it might irritate you, but then again you could always test this principle out by getting coat hanger wire. So there you go. Now you notice I've got the pad the opposite way, because you know I like to do that on the with the pole modified one, and there's a video out on modifying a wagtail to put on the end of a pole and what the springs are actually for. Now, this lives on the pole. Don't use it in your hand if you're going to do that one. This one doesn't require any other sort of modifications if you're just going to use it on your bucket, on a belt, or in your hand. So there you go, another job done.